It felt very important and appropriate for all of us to spend a few moments together as we start a new week. As members of Am Yisrael, of the Jewish people, we are challenged by our Torah to live lives of prayer, where we develop a capacity to daven each and every day, to develop an ability to express gratitude for all that we have, to turn to Hashem each morning when we wake up and over the course of a day, to make a bracha, to say thank you, to experience the sanctity of small moments. And that's what we try to do when we daven and develop the ability to pray. But there are times when the world and when life interacts with us on a much larger scale, when we are confronted with unusual circumstances. And it is the nature and it is its own mitzvah that is placed upon us as B'nai and B'not Torah to respond to the larger circumstances that life brings through prayer of a different sort. And I would like for you to associate that idea with what we often do, unfortunately, in times of tragedy, or when Am Yisrael is in a difficult circumstance. Because when those larger events strike, there is a pasuk, it says, Al SAR Hatzorer Etchem. When there is something that Am Yisrael is confronting, we turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in tefillah, in prayer. And you know that that is so because we gather together to say Tehillim and to daven. And so on the one hand, what Hashem wants is for us to daven every day, for all that we have every moment. On the other hand, when there's something large that happens, we have to turn to Hashem in tefillah under a difficult circumstance. This morning, we are gathering to do something different than both of those. This is not about the everyday. This is not about tragedy. This is about salvation. And we are actually also obligated, as members of the Jewish people responding to the lives and to the way that life confronts us, to express hakarat tov and gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu when we are confronted with something treacherous and we are granted a Yeshua. Chazal teach us that we are obligated to make a bracha, Birkat Hagomel, to turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to say, something could have happened. And thankfully, we all came out the other end, healthy and safe, supporting each other, and grateful to be able to wake up the next morning and everyone was healthy and fine. Thursday night was a little harrowing. The fire was harrowing, and the travel home. And it felt appropriate for us to take a few moments together in order to collectively do what Am Yisrael is supposed to do under a circumstance like that. And that is to make a bracha to HaKadosh Baruch Hu saying, thank you, in this unusual circumstance, for being gomel l'chayavim tovot. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who nurtures and grants us chayavim tovot, wonderful lives, that in this circumstance as well, he was gemalani kol tuv, that everyone was safe. Everybody made it home or somewhere. And that we are all here Monday morning ready to roll for another week of school. What we are doing right now is the idea of what Am Yisrael does. When something happens, you turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When something good happens, you turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and say, thank you for the salvation. So at this time, I, on behalf of the community, those who were on the bus in their respective communities over Shabbat made a bracha. I think we all have a bracha to make. To see the words, you see it says, blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe. Hagomel chayavim tovot, who bestows kindness upon the culpable, shegemalani kol tuv, for he has bestowed goodness to me. I will make that bracha, and all of us, all of you will respond, amen, and then we're talking to all of us in the response as well. Misheg malcha kol tov, he who has bestowed goodness upon us, hu yigmalcha kol tov sela. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, Hagomel chayavim tovot shegemalani kol tov. I ask Rabbi Kroll to please come up.
In addition to thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for what happened, on Thursday night and Friday also, we saw a number of you, faculty, teachers, parents, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And this wasn't because someone wanted any sort of accolade, a midam moment, or anything like that. It was just because it was the right and the good thing to do. So what we asked for is for the grade representatives, the 9th grade, who does not yet have a grade representative. I asked Shai Goldberg-Kelman, who was on one of the buses, to represent you. I'm going to ask them to come up onto the stage now and highlight 1 or 2 midam moments from within your grade. And I think that we should just all be very proud of how we all acted during those difficult times. And you'll see throughout the day also, not every midam moment that people sent in is going to make it up here, but on the screens throughout the day, you will see all of the midam moments that were submitted, and you should really be proud of yourselves. So grade representatives, please come up. We're going to start with the 9th grade.
The 9th grade would like to recognize the actions of Reina Perellis and Nava Feder. After a friend and I both lost our belongings to the bus fire, I asked Nava and Reina if they would give us some of their notes so we wouldn't be behind in class. They quickly agreed and not only gave us all their notes from the beginning of the year, but they also asked what else they could do to make things easier, and they went above and beyond what I asked and what was required of them. It is friends like these with such excellent midot that make times like these much easier to get through.
The sophomore class would like to highlight the midot of Toby Olson and Daniel Tsarsky. Before school ended, seeing the impact of the storm, Daniel and Toby knew that the security guards would be in for a long night, so they bought hot coffee and munchkins to give them.
The security guards were amazing. They made sure we were all safe and taken care of. Thank you, Toby and Daniel, for the excellent midot you displayed by taking care of the amazing security staff.
I hit everything.
On behalf of the junior class, we would like to highlight the hospitality of Davi Frank and his family. The Franks graciously hosted, fed, and entertained 17 students on Thursday night.
The Franks clearly exemplified the mitzvah of Hachnasat Orachim, and we hope that we can all learn from their midot.
All right. The senior class would like to highlight Yona Bergman and Zach Davies for their midot moments. Yona saw a father walking home with his 3 sons on Thursday night, and the kids were struggling to walk in the snow. So Yona carried one of the sons for over a mile long and brought him home, which was pretty awesome.
as everyone was running out of the fiery bus on Thursday night, most kids just made sure that they were safe, but Zach Davis went to all the other buses and made sure that those kids were out of their buses so they wouldn't be harmed by the fire. David.
Thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and thank you to all of you. We're going to be going now to your grade floors for donuts. The Sudat Hoda'ah class begins at 9:15.